Did you guys feel like things were out of whack? Just you missed a couple games, LeBron, and there was lineups out there that you guys hadn't used. And at the end of the game, there was no center and no point guard. I think the tallest guy on the floor is like 6'9". Do you guys feel like out of rhythm and out of whack tonight? And did that contribute at all to the disjointed nature of the game?
Well, a little bit. We unfortunately we've been having to play with different lineups, and it was good for us, in the long run, to be able to see what guys can do. But it was a little different, especially at the end, not having a big guy in there, shot blocker. The one time towards the end when Josh Smith got it and I went for the steal, I'm thinking Joel behind me. I turn around, it's Rio. So you're not used to it. So, different lineups that we got to get used to. I mean, give Atlanta credit. They just as well as we fought back in it, they fought as well. It was a good Eastern Conference game, a good battle, and they made the plays down the stretch that they needed to win the ball game.
Dwyane, how much does this Chris's absence sort of change the dynamic? I mean, when LeBron's out, you can sort of take over that same role, and vice versa. There's some interchangeable parts of both of y'all game, but when Chris is not there, what does that sort of do to the dynamic?
Well, Chris is our relief in a way. We go to Chris. Whether it's at the elbow, whether it's in the block, to run some offense out of that, and it kind of gives the defense a different look. We're having of course, me and LeBron is mostly perimeter, so we got to do a better job of mixing it up. If Chris is going to be out for a while, of us getting down there a little bit and mixing up in the post, to give us a different look. Because when you're playing against an athletic team like Atlanta and they switching everything, and you're playing on just a perimeter, sometimes you're forcing yourself to shoot contested shots or force shots at times. So, that's not what we want to do. We had to do that with Chris being out today. So our first game playing without CB, and we'll make the adjustment going into the next one if he's not available. Hopefully he is.
Over here, guys. Early there was a factor of getting to know each other, and lately there's been a factor of injuries. Is there anything else that you can pinpoint the difference between the team that's been 21-1 at one stretch and 9-12 otherwise?
No, I think just consistency. As of late, it's just been injuries. We had everything going, and when you have a few injuries, it takes the chemistry out, it takes the rhythm out of a team. You can say the same for Dallas. When Dirk went down, Karan went down, all those guys are, doesn't have the same chemistry as they had before those guys went out. And the same go for, Chicago. The same go for everyone else that has injuries in the league. It happens. And sometimes it happens at the wrong time when you're playing your best basketball. So, as a team, we have enough. Guys are going to have to step up and play some roles that they may not be accustomed to with guys being out. And we figure out a way to get the job done.
LeBron, on the critical possessions of regulation and overtime where you took the threes, was that your thought when the possession started, or just kind of the way that the possession played out?
Well, at the end of regulation, I was kind of the only shot that I could take. D-Wade got doubled, swung it to Rio, and Rio swung it to me, and that's probably the best shot we could have got at that time. And a few of my other looks, the shot clock went down on the one when I had to take it at 2 seconds on the shot clock. It comes from, I think, maybe some trust there also. But, you hope for those ones that hopefully they can go in. And, if they don't, you just try to get a stop on the other end.
LeBron, Dwyane, you guys are sort of in an interesting position. You could just play just to win games and not fully develop the identity and possibilities of this roster. You guys like to win games. But how important is it maybe to test Mike a little, to test Eddie a little, to try Joel in different situations? In other words, everyone's looking at, oh, my God, they lost 4 in a row. But can you talk about big picture and what you want to develop now, so come March and April, what you might have?
Yeah, we're going to have to. We're going to, when we talk about trust, we're going to have to, we're going to have that total trust as a team to get guys in there and play a lot of minutes, play different roles. Michael's going to have to play more. JJ's going to have to play more because we're building for the future. Of course, we're in the now and we're playing now, but we're still building for the future. And, who's to say what's going to happen? And myself and Chris and Brian, of course, we rely on us a lot, but you never know. And we got to have guys confident enough to make plays, to run an offense, whatever the case may be. So, we're going to have to get Mike, and those guys, a little bit more comfortable. And sometimes it might comes with us taking a little less of a role of being as aggressive. But, that's fine because we're building for the playoffs.
Brian, you played a lot of power forward tonight. How does that change the way you have to approach the game and change your mentality at all? Well, maybe you're playing 4 at one end and basically 1 at the other end.
I think defensively, it allows us to do a lot of things. Defensively allows us to switch. At times, especially if D Wade's guarding the ball and they run a four pick and roll, we're able to switch. I can use my athleticism on the defensive rebound, and if I rebound the ball, I can push it. So now we have 4 guys on the perimeter, and the defense is not used to, too many fours. Well, I'm not a forward, but you understand what I'm saying. Getting the rebound and being able to, push out on the break. So, it's pros and cons with it. But for the most part, when we've had that lineup where I had to play the forward, it's been pretty good for us. We're very active defensively, and offensively, that's one thing we got to keep getting better. Because we don't play the lineup a lot. We go over it in practice, not much. I think we're going to start doing a little bit more, especially if Chris is going to be out, and it'll be better for us later on in games and down the stretch.
Guys, over here, follow up to what Ira said a little bit. How do you weigh experimenting with lineups and playing for now and building for the future, but not losing touch with the Celtics if you're going to walk them down for the number 1 seed? I know there's 35 games to play, but how important is it to stay in touch with them and make them play a whole season so they don't get to rest at the end of the season?
Well, we're going to constantly get better throughout this year. We're going to, with this new team, we're going to go through ebb and flows. It's unfortunate, but that's what we're going to do. Everyone wants to be the number 1 seed, of course. But we just got to focus on us and what we need to do. And, you let the record speak for itself. Boston is a very good team. They're a veteran team. And I think they've proven no matter what seed they are, they can win. And that's the team we want to build. So no matter if we're 1 seed, 2, 3, whatever the case may be, we want to, have the confidence to know that we can win, at home and on the road. And the playoffs is what you have to do. I mean, I'm sitting next to a guy that was number 1 seed the last couple of years. And, unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to play in the finals or win the championship. So it's just about us building our team and making sure that we get better to the point of where we at our best, when playoffs come.
Back here, guys. Joel comes up with about 16 rebounds. Some of those, would you guys like to egg him on and tell him, hey, go back up with it? Because the other center basically knows he's kicking it back out,
Did a great job, Joel, I mean, to have 16 rebounds and not a shot attempt is remarkable. Hasn't been done much. But Joel is doing what, we asked him to do. A lot of times we get offensive rebounds in this league, the shot that we get killed by is the 3-point shot. So he did his job. He got rebounds. He kicked it out. And we got some good looks. It's on him. He'll feel if he want to go back up with it. I mean, he earned it if he get the rebound. So he earns if he want to pass it out as well.